Hello, this is Henry Chamberlain. This is assignment 3 for strategic operations class. I'm going to read the scenario as I go. I may make some verbal notes, and then after I read the scenario, I will go and talk about the specific law I found, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap it up. Scenario 1. Even after calling home, moving seats, and speaking with a disruptive student. So two things there. Calling home, I would be curious if we actually got a parent contact, or we do have a lot of parents who just like to dodge phone calls, especially from the school, depending on the parents' interest level and their kids' academic ability. And then speaking with the disruptive student, that would be a verbal warning. So I just kind of wanted to make that note. He continued to be disrespectful and was written up for throwing a notebook across the room. Once in the office, you assign him in-school suspension for the remainder of the day and inform him he will not be able to play in tonight's basketball game. When you call and inform his parents, they rush to the office demanding that you change your decision, or they will go to the school board and the superintendent, as well as sue you if he does not play. As a school leader, you will be challenged by students and parents on situations regarding discipline. Among these challenges are threats of vengeance, threats of lawsuits, threats of job loss, and threats of going to the superintendent or school board. As a leader, how do you deal with this situation? So I want to go all the way back to establishing the rules. If we look at the Education Code, State Education Code, Title II, Public Education, Subtitle C, Local Organization and Governance, Chapter 11, School Districts, Subchapter A, General Provision. If you scroll down to Section 11.252, it says District Level Planning and Decision Making. Each school district shall have a district improvement plan that is developed, evaluated, and revised annually in accordance with district policy. Part 3 says strategies for improvement of student performance include, and letter E says discipline management. So basically, this is the state setting up the student code of conduct. If we move on, we will see that Title II, Public Education, Subtitle G, Safe Schools, Chapter 37, Discipline, Law, and Order, Subchapter A, Alternative Settings for Behavior Management. Section 37.001 is the actual student code of conduct. I wanted to mention this section A specifically because it says the student code of conduct must be posted and prominently displayed at each school campus or made available for review at the office of the campus principal. I think that if I was a principal, I would probably have the student code of conduct handy. And if I had just gotten off the phone with a parent who was going to rush down and start an argument with me, then I would, if I didn't have it posted physically, I would definitely have an electronic copy available. Moving on. Section 37.002, removal by a teacher. A teacher may send a student to the campus behavior coordinator's office to maintain effective discipline in the classroom. The campus behavior coordinator shall respond by employing appropriate discipline management techniques consisting with the student code of conduct adopted under Section 37.001 that can reasonably be expected to improve the student's behavior before returning the student to the classroom. So the removal from the game is a stick, carrot and stick. It is a punishment with the thought that, okay, if you are acting out in class, then guess what? You can lose more games. And so it is a reasonable action to hopefully change this child's behavior so he can return to the classroom. Going back to why the teacher sent the student to the classroom, if you go to 37.002b, a teacher may remove from class a student who has been documented. So we're talking about the steps again. I want to make sure that teacher before I put a student in school suspension and take away privileges, I want to make sure the documentation has been done, whether we're using electronic review 360 or pink slips or what. So I just wanted to touch on that documentation piece, I'm going to start back over on B1. A teacher may remove from class a student who has been documented by the teacher to repeatedly interfere with the teacher's ability to communicate effectively with the students in the class, with the ability of the student's classmates to learn, or part 2, whose behavior the teacher determines is so unruly, disruptive, or abusive that it seriously interferes with the teacher's ability to communicate effectively with the students in the class or with the ability of the student's classmates to learn. So I kind of put this part in because I wanted to make sure I was protecting the teachers. I did not want the parents to turn around and say, well, it's the teacher's fault. The teacher didn't follow the right steps or didn't do the right thing. The last piece I wanted to touch on was Section 37.0012, designation of campus behavior coordinator. A person at each campus must be designated to serve as the campus behavior coordinator. The person designated may be the principal of the campus or any other campus administrator selected by the principal. The reason why I'm pointing this out is once I've covered the teachers, the next question might be, okay, so what gives you, i.e. me, the principal, the right to suspend my kid? Well, this shows that I have designated myself as the behavior coordinator, and therefore it is my right, it is my duty to pass down punishments or change behaviors as I see fit. So kind of going back to the beginning, we start off, I want to make sure I have my teachers doing their documentation correctly. And once the kids down in my office, I give them the correct punishments. Once the parents come in, I really want to have that student code of conduct posted or easily accessible at my computer. I have established why a district has the right to create a student code of conduct because it's part of the student education code. I have established that I am chosen as the behavior coordinator, and as a behavior coordinator, I am allowed to pass out punishments based on the student's behavior with the hope that we are changing his behavior so we can get him back in the classroom. The assumption being if he misses one game and the parents really don't like that and he doesn't really like that, he's probably not going to go back in the class and cause more problems. So to me, this seems like a very effective punishment. So from here, with the parents, if they wanted to pursue this matter, I would welcome them to go talk to the superintendent or whoever they felt like they needed to talk to. But at this point, they would probably just look foolish. So I don't know. I would say most parents at this point would probably stop what they're doing.